How to get honeycomb in Minecraft. Honeycombs is an item that is useful for crafting beehives, candles, honeycomb blocks for waxing copper blocks to prevent them from oxidizing, and applied to signs to prevent them from being edited. In this video, I'll try to explain how to get the honeycomb from the bee's nest or hive and loot chest it can be found in. How to get the honeycomb. There are two different ways to find the honeycomb, either through the bee's nest or hives or through the chest loot. First, let's start with the chest loot. Honeycomb in the trial chamber chests. The trial chamber is a structure that is composed of tough and copper blocks that can be found between -20 and -40 underground in the overworld. The trial chamber will stick out underground as the tough blocks do not generate in the world like this. If you want to know more about finding the trial chamber, of a card on the top right. There are two chests that the honeycomb can be found in. The first is in the entrance chest at 2 to 8 honeycomb at 55.1% chance. The entrance will usually have a tree or cactus in it, but might not. There will be a 3x3 doorway of oxidized copper variants, and this is supposed to be a door. The other spot to find honeycomb is in the corridor barrel at 2 to 8 honeycomb with a 10.2% chance. The corridor will be a long hallway that will have barrels, decorated pots along the sides. Where to find the bee's nest. The best way to get honeycomb is through the bee's nest or hives. Bee's nest can be found in the meadow, cherry grove, plains, sunflower plains, mangrove swamp, flower forest, birch forest, and old growth birch forest with 2 to 3 bees. The chance of the bee's nest appearing in this biome will differ as the percentage chance for each tree that it can appear on in this biome. For example, in the meadows it is 100% chance for a bee's nest to be on a tree, but there's only one tree in a meadow. The cherry grove, plains, sunflower plains have a 5% chance, mangrove swamp is a 1% chance, flower forest is 2% in Java and 3% in bedrock. The least likely is 0.2% in Java and 0.035% chance in bedrock for forest, birch forest, and old growth birch forest. If you can't find a bee's nest, you can generate one by placing an oak, birch, or cherry tree sapling within 2 blocks of a flower. There is a 5% chance of the tree having a bee's nest on it and having 2 to 3 bees. To drop the bee's nest, you will need to use an axe enchanted with silk touch. This drops the bee's nest and keeps the bees inside, and the bees not in the nest will not become angry. If you break the bee's nest without a silk touch enchanted axe, this will anger the bees around the nest and they will sting you, giving you the poison effect. Once you have 3 honeycomb, you can craft a beehive with 3 honeycomb and 6 wooden planks in the crafting table. How to harvest the bee's nest. I'm going to be saying bee's nest for this, but this applies also to the beehive also. The bee's nest can house up to 3 bees at a time. Bees will enter the nest at night or during rain. The bees will enter the nest of the last one they entered, and if that one isn't there, they will try to find another one. The bees will leave their nest during the day, collect pollen from flowers, and return to the nest. It will take about 2 minutes for the bees to turn this into honey in the nest. This will increase the honey level of the nest by 1. When the bee's nest reaches a honey level of 5, it can be harvested using shears. You can tell if the bee's nest is ready to harvest as it will be dripping with honey. Harvesting it will drop 3 honeycombs. Doing this will anger the bees inside and cause them to sting you, giving you the poison effect. To prevent this, you can place a campfire within 5 blocks below the bee's nest. You can place a carpet above the campfire to prevent the bees from taking damage from the campfire. Campfires won't prevent the bees from entering or exiting the nest. It is supposed to calm them. Bees can also be bred by feeding them flowers, entering them into love mode, and 2 bees will create a baby bee. The baby bee will take 20 minutes to become an adult, and this can be sped up by 10% by being fed a flower. Using redstone to harvest the honeycomb. One last trick is that you can automate shearing the bee's nest so you don't have to do it yourself, and it can be harvested as soon as it is full. Redstone comparators when placed facing out from the bee's nest will output a redstone signal depending on the honey level of the nest. A full nest will output a redstone signal of 5. A dispenser that has shears inside that is facing a nest when powered can shear the nest. With a hopper underneath, it can collect the honeycomb that is sheared.